Well, this persistent downpour has wreaked havoc across the Bay Area. From Hillsborough to Citrus counties, hundreds are trying to clean up and dry out. ABC Action News reporter Kara Mashik spent the day with some of the folks in Tampa and joins us now live. Kara?
We're actually right here just off of West Shore and Gandy, where Mayor Bob Buckhorn is going to be holding a press conference momentarily. We've got a huge depression right behind us here where a tractor somehow found itself into that hole here. And they've been trying to dig this thing out. Not exactly sure how this happened, but certainly we do have a very large hole here that they're working around right now. And this is very characteristic of a lot of the issues we've seen all weekend. A large depression opening up last night over on Creston, Jamaica. And take a look at some of this video of the incredible flood cleanup that continues in so many areas all across the community. This is the Colonial Village Apartments just off Sherwood in South Tampa. 17 first-floor units there were flooded, taking on more than 4 inches of water. The carpeting had to be pulled out today as they worked to clean up and dry out. Just a couple blocks over, a business complex also flooded.
We're all still worried about it coming back and just reflooding everything again. So, I don't know. Let's hope it doesn't happen.
It's very frustrating, but what can you do? You just have to be prepared and you know, just try to stay calm and just know that it will come to an end eventually.
And of course, we are certainly hoping that more cleanup is going to continue and things are going to improve. We do have Mayor Bob Buckhorn joining us live now with an update.
First of all, let me say thank you to the media for your amazing assistance over the last couple days. You have been very, very good about retweeting and republishing everything that we have put out. You've been great messengers for us as we've gotten through these difficult last couple days. I'm here to tell you, just to give you a little bit of an update as to what's going on. There is significantly high potential for additional rain tonight. So we are encouraging everybody to stay indoors, to stay off the streets if possible, to avoid areas that they know historically have flooded. We received record amounts of rainfall over the last 2 days. There is no way in the world that any system could have accommodated the amount of rainfall that we got in that short period of time. We obviously had significant street flooding. We had some collapses, as we have seen here behind us. This is the last major collapse. But as it gets dark tonight, as the storms potentially come through, as potentially heavy rainfall, I'm asking everyone to stay inside and avoid areas that they know are areas that traditionally have high water. Most of the standing water around the city has diminished. We still have some streets like Jeton, particularly the 2900 block of Jeton, that still has some additional water on it. The ground is absolutely saturated. It cannot take too much more rainfall. So if it does rain, the rain is going to collect on the surface because it has nowhere else to go. Low tide is in a few hours. Obviously, the tide affects the amount of tidal flow. Right now, the tide is, we look like in a slack tide. Maybe it's going up, but we need to be careful and be cognizant of the tides. Tides affect the drainage. We handed out about 4,000 sandbags already. We're going to continue to do that tomorrow. We've gotten additional sand because of the high demand from the county, and we are appreciative of that. The same locations where we've been handing out sandbags are where we continue to hand out sandbags, but flooding continues to be an issue. And again, and I can't emphasize this enough, I need people to stay off the roads tonight. Hopefully tomorrow, most of the rain will have passed, but just be smart. Avoid the areas where you know there's flooding and avoid the areas where historically there have been issues. This culvert behind us, and thankfully, as you can see by the backhoe that is right in the middle of the canal, the best thing I can say about this is our city employee was not hurt. That vehicle may be a total loss, but our city employee is fine. Our folks have been out here working for the last 48 hours as hard as any group of men and women can work. I couldn't be prouder of them. They're going to continue to work through the night to try and get this resolved. Let me tell you how serious the problem is. In terms of the amount of water that we have pushed through our wastewater system, on a normal day, we move 60 million gallons of water or wastewater through our system. In the last 24 hours, 155 million gallons of water has moved through our system, which has stressed our system as much as it can possibly be stressed. We are seeing some of the manholes pop up as a result of the pressure and as a result of the amount of the water. Again, we encourage people to not play in the water. Do not let your children play in the water. Let the water recede, and then things will get back to normal. We continue to have concerns about cave-ins. When the ground is this saturated, we need to be aware of cave-ins, and I anticipate, and our folks anticipate, that there will be wastewater cave-ins over the next couple days as the water recedes and the ground starts to get a little soft and sometimes potentially will collapse in on itself. I'm going to introduce you to a couple people here that will be very, very active tonight, who play a major role in what's going on tonight. We have the Tampa Fire Chief here, Tom Ford. We have Assistant Chief, Tampa Police Chief Brian Dugan here. We have Brad Baird, who is the administrator.
Okay, you just heard from Tampa Mayor Bob Buckhorn and his big warning with heavier rains. Please stay off the roads. He says that 4,000 sandbags have already been given out, and they're getting more sand to prepare for more heavier rains tonight.
155 million gallons of water going through the system. Of course, they cannot handle that, causing even more flooding. Bob Buckhorn also talked about staying out of the water for any kids trying to play in it. Do not drive anywhere near the areas where there's potential flooding. Of course, we'll keep you updated and have more on this coming up tonight on ABC Action News at 11.